Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to another week of Almost Paradise with your hosts, Kate and Sammie. This is a Bachelor Pod where we talk about seasons of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, all to get us prepared for paradise. Now, ladies and gentlemen, meet my host, Sammie.
Hi, I'm Sammie. If you're new to the pod, I am a dating coach for singles and relationship expert. And I just try to approach this podcast from that perspective.
And then I am Kate, which I did not say. I am a bisexual, feminist, armchair producer. I just like to know like the inner workings and the behind the scenes, and that's where I'm coming from. So we're here, night 3. I keep saying it's night 3. It's really week 3. We're past just doing one night, but all my notes say night 3, night 2, all the things. We have a couple pieces of news from the Bachelor world. Also say hi to my doggy.
She's up for adoption.
Yes, it's the Spade's butt on the YouTube. She is up for adoption. She's a foster. I'm not getting rid of this dog. She's foster.
Just to be clear.
But we did hear this week, I think I heard last night, Dale and Claire have gone their separate ways. So we lasted 5 months, which I think after knowing each other a few days and getting engaged, that's not too bad.
They gave it a good run. I think most couples who make such a heavy plunge, like the Britney Spears marriage that lasted 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
This lasted longer, so they can pat themselves on the back. I mean, at least they didn't go down the aisle before figuring out that there was some incompatibility issues by the sound of it.
Yeah, we didn't sign any contracts. No marriage contracts were signed.
We wish them the best in their parting.
And I hope they let Claire keep that ring, even though they didn't stay together for the 2 years after, but they kind of screwed her over in this season that they had her on. So at least let her keep a Neil Lane. Okay?
Let her have a consolation prize.
Yeah, it's a nice consolation prize.
Yeah.
That was Jillian, Bachelorette from years and years and years ago. She kept her ring even though they didn't stay together for 2 years. And she basically was like, production, I'm out of contract. I could drag you for a lot of things. Would you like me to drag you or do you want your ring back?
Yeah.
And I hope Claire pulls the same thing. Claire, we're rooting for you, girl. You keep that Neil Lane.
Yeah.
On the Sacramento black market.
Yeah, she had a rough run on her.
They painted her in a very bad way, honestly, on every season that she's been a part of.
Yeah. So I'm she didn't get the man that she thought she was getting.
So yeah, Claire and Dale, RIP, but we are back in the Bachelor world. We're back finishing up our rose ceremony that we did not get to finish last week. And RIP, Marilyn went home. Are you shook by this? I kind of saw it coming, but I'm still just like pissed.
I think based off the previews, we kind of knew Victoria was going to stay.
Yeah.
We didn't really see Marilyn sticking around, which this feels very unfair. If it were me in that position, if I were the Bachelorette.
You were Matt James.
I was Mac Daddy Maddie. I probably would have said from the get-go, if you come to me with little like drama bits, you're trying to throw someone under the bus, you're trying to protect me, tell me all this stuff, I would be like, anybody who does that is going home. Because
bye. We don't tolerate that.
No, because it becomes too much he said, she said. I would rather it be my decision by the end. Like, please have the confidence in me that I can make a decision for myself and that I can.
Yes, can we get some Tayshia energy in Matt James's season of The Bachelor? Like, what I needed him to do is say, Victoria, shut up and go home. Take off your bra and go home.
Take off your bra.
You balding bitch.
Like, I don't want instigators. I want to be trusted with the decision of who I'm going to be with. Let me suss it out.
Yes.
I don't want, snitches get stitches. And that's if you're gonna snitch, you're gonna get the boot. Like,
well, on Matt James's season, snitches get a rose.
yeah, you're getting rewarded. And I think he just like goes protective mode. This is very much his thing, is to be the hero, to be a protector. So when he hears bullying or he hears, I gotta come get you, like, and we'll go into that later with this episode.
We have much more to say on that. But bye, Marilyn, you deserved better. You will find a much better man.
Yeah,
who will take Victoria's word over yours. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't think you were toxic. I think you handled situations well. You just went head to head with a really crazy biatch.
A very good actor is what she said about Victoria, which I was like, yeah, she stirred the pot very well. She knew exactly what to say. It was not good. So but then we get some date cards.
Yes.
So we're back at the Macho.
The girls.
All the girls are chilling. We see a nice, really cool shot of Nemacolin and goats. I know there's a lot of grass there, but like, so happy that they're using goats and not
this
people.
Feels like a very magical land. That feels like Narnia.
Beautiful trees, goats roaming free. We see donkeys. We're all about the donkeys. It's just very fun. And then Chris Harrison comes in and says, oh, after a long talk with Matt, he'd like to be pushed. So surprise, surprise, we just wrapped this date up today this is new. This is brand new. No one ever thought that we would possibly be doing a date like this. So we get our first conference room date. The ladies on the date, from memory, I did not write this down. Anna, Bree, who else? Rachel, Lauren,
Katie, Victoria.
That's a good amount. We got most of them.
We got a lot. We got a good portion.
Yeah, we got a nice group of women. Anna is still plucked because she hasn't had time at all with Matt, which is kind of crazy, but she's like, my best case scenario would be that he doesn't look at me, he doesn't need to talk to me, he'll just give me the rose. So like that says to me that Anna, you are here for the game and you are not here for a relationship. I feel like my best case would be I talk to Matt, he thinks I'm great, here's the rose.
Proposes to me on the spot and we get married and we're actually compatible.
Yeah. We walk into our very first decored out conference room. We have a beautiful backdrop with, I don't know if you guys caught it, a Pegasus unicorn flying around over Chris Harrison's head. Like, which God bless.
My dream.
Yeah, hi. This is my dream date. Ashley I is feeling so embarrassed.
She's backlit, where you can't see who it is, but we can see who it is.
We know your voice, Ashley, because we've seen you on every season of this show.
Yeah, you don't go away, and it's okay. I mean, make that money.
That poor little virgin, they're making her read Chris Harrison's dirty ass book.
His kinky erotica that he's written.
You called it, Sammie. Daddy Harrison. It's a kink Daddy Harrison.
It feels
I
weird.
was thinking he was racist. He's just kinky.
It feels like that movie Stranger Than Fiction where she's writing out what's going to happen and his life follows that. I think Chris Harrison and I have that connection where I wrote that he writes a steamy fan fiction of his love affair with Matt James, and now he has all these girls reading it for an episode. So, yeah.
Oh my God. It was just such a shameless plug. I don't know if our listeners know, but Chris Harrison is an author. Okay. I just want to play you a little snippet. This date is fully based around, well, to us, it's fully based around getting Matt out of his comfort zone. To everyone else, this is a big, big push for Chris Harrison's book.
For sales, which is called The Perfect Letter.
Lady since her grandfather had died. She hadn't realized how much she'd missed it. It was fitting for her to remember her grandfather now. In the morning, she was going home to Texas for the first time in almost 10 years.
Texas.
She hadn't been back since her grandfather had died. Since she had come home from Harvard her freshman year to bury the man who'd been practically the only family she had left. After the service, she'd gone back to Boston and had her Aunt Becky mail her things to her in 6 cardboard boxes. In all the years since, She'd found excuses not to go back. Too much school, too much work, too many other obligations.
Well, I don't think we're going to get any erotica from this dead grandpa chapter of The Perfect Letter, but trust and believe Sammie and I will be doing live readings of The Perfect Letter until we know the full story.
Would you guys listen to us reading chapters of The Perfect Letter? We might do
I
it.
got my auntie to pack my things in 6 boxes and send them home to me.
Unless that chapter was going to introduce some having sex with dead people. I don't think that one was going to really show us
necrophilia with the grandpa.
Necrophilia. Her only option was to marry her only family she had left.
Her aunt. It's a lesbian book.
This is a very strange. Okay, Chris Harrison, do you work? If this
Girl, plug those things.
Yeah.
Get that coin. Now it is the best-selling book on Amazon and you said Google Books. It was top on Google Books.
Yeah, well, Google, when I was Googling Chris Harrison, it was Chris Harrison book, #1 Google.
Everyone has to know.
You all want to know?
Oh my goodness. So we get all these ladies, we get the Pegasus unicorn in the background, and then we get a really good reading from Matt James.
Yeah, he reads his own erotic fan fiction for the girls. And it's terrible.
Chocolate cake.
Yeah, he goes, she was drawn to a familiar smell. She was drawn to the kitchen for a familiar smell. Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
I will try to have the clip on here
You need
of his awful lip lick. He goes, chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
I feel like my mouth would be dry, like having to read this in front of everyone, and probably my tongue would be stuck in my mouth. That's what I'm imagining, but also chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
It was like a little lizard tongue came out.
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
This is still a lesbian book.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would have been a very different energy if it was a lady reading this.
Oh, we get a really fun moment where Chris is like, and you'll be reading all your stuff live for a live audience. And these women they didn't see Tasha's season. It was filming while it was airing. There was like a funny overlap. So they don't know what to expect. They don't know that the other women from the house will be there. I love that little extra surprise. I hope we do that even moving forward. Like when we can have a live audience and people can show up, then we just have the women come anyway.
It feels like it feels worse, I think, for the women listening. Because you don't get to say your thing. You just have to watch all these women read out all of their fantasies about the object of your desire.
The boyfriend that you're all dating at the same time.
And you just have to sit there and go, oh, okay. And
right.
Some of
Well,
these,
and if you wrote it yourself, like you've already been like, this is so awkward. I don't want to read this. I don't really want to write about it. But these women that show up just to watch are just like, oh, cool. We're all horny for the same man.
Oh, that's what you would do. Oh, okay.
Okay, Anna, you would pop your tits out one at a time.
And then I would pull my breasts up.
I don't think I've ever revealed my titties one nip at a time. Is this something I should be doing? Like, sound off in the love department DMs, people. I need to know. Am I revealing my breasts in the bad way?
Anyone attracted to breasts
Want to see them all.
Is that the protocol? Is 1, 2? Is it 1? You want more? 2?
1? Is this titty enough? No, you need this one too.
And then the drag reveal would be there would be a third titty.
My third nipple is over here.
Here it is.
God, I was laughing so hard. I don't have like a ton of things to say. I wonder though, they bleeped a lot of the women out. like on certain words. And to me, I'm like, was that used very liberally for like funny? Because I mean, great, I loved it, but
especially Victoria, because she was like, all these girls are vanilla. I'm just gonna show them what a real
think my bleep and bleep my bleep.
I know, it was like, that all sounds very normal. And then he pulled my hair, blah blah blah. I was like,
and you're like, you ain't no kinky beach.
yeah, like that all sounds like a normal Saturday, you know?
He kissed her neck and then smacked her ass hard. And pulling her hair while she moaned with pleasure.
We should also, I'm excited, you and I should write our own erotica and read it to our crushes. I just like want to put these like little dates to the test. Are these good ways to woo a lover?
Yeah. Or just
Does this work without a camera?
Yeah, don't even tell them that you're going to do this. But yeah, we'll film this where we write our own fanfic and then we read it to that person and see.
Mine's going to be about you over Skype because quarantine.
Yeah, we'll film the result of this. But I like, was that good?
Is that good? Do you want to see my boobs one at a time?
One at a time. Yeah, maybe we ask them that too. Like, was that good for you? Like one at a time, or do you want the full unveiling? Like
what if I gave you like half a nipple? Is that cute? Or do you need the full just one nip? I need to know.
Yeah.
Should I be revealing my butt cheeks one at a time?
Yeah. One labie at a time.
Baby. I have my right labie, and guess what? I have a left labie. I have
twin.
I got a major and a menorah.
And we got twins.
We hope they're twins. Twins and not sisters, right?
Distant cousins.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
kind of fun. It also gave the women like it opened up some very interesting conversations. I love that we got Kink Daddy Harrison just living. He was living for this date.
Yeah, I think Katie had my favorite read. She seemed very comfortable, confident. And after the date, she tells the girls who were there, I'm really happy that we all got to speak on our desires as women, because I think societally women are not really asked to share what they want, and then we're more like necessary objects and pleasure. Like it's not about us.
Yeah, you do things to us. We don't have desires and things that we want.
Yeah,
that's always been like for me. That's always been really hard. Like when a partner I'm with is like, "Tell me what you want," and it's like in the mix, and I'm like, well, now I can't say anything. So like maybe we need to have this erotica. You need to have like an elevator pitch ready for your sexual partner.
Here's what I like. Just so in the moment, you know. Like,
yeah, here we go.
Here's the list.
Oh, it was good though. I liked this day. And then we get to the nighttime portion.
All the girls get sent home who were not reading. They were the guests. They go, well, ladies, time to go home. So
yeah, sorry. Here's feminine blue balls for y'alls.
Yeah.
I like that they're like, this is not fun for you because you have to leave. And I'm like, well, it's not like these other ladies that are staying on the date are going to get off. I mean, maybe they could. There's
they get a little bit of about time. Whoa.
You see the puppy.
So yeah, we go into the cocktail hour. We'll go more into the Sarah interruption later. I think
there's a lot of Sarah information that will kind of culminate there at the end. I'm just like I'm impressed with Katie and the way she handled this with Sarah. We'll obviously talk about it. What I was very struck by was how nice Victoria was to white woman Sarah when she was confronting her with her problems. I love you, sweetie. I don't want you to cry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm coming at all love is coming from me. All love.
When it's like, we know she doesn't actually feel that way because she was talking all of the shit in her in the moments, but it was very jarring to me how different her conversation with Sarah and Marilyn was. I didn't like it. It's very telling.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that. And the way Katie confronted Sarah, I have notes. I think she's incredible.
Yeah.
She was like very direct. She wasn't super emotional, even though you could tell she was bothered. Like no personal attacks, just like, let me say what I need to say. And you like,
she just spoke.
Hats off to you, Katie.
Yeah, she spoke from her own experience. And I think in arguments, I think that's what we have to go off of. There's like a book that I love called Getting Real by Dr. Susan Campbell. And it talks about just talking from your own perspective and not speaking for the other person, not saying you did this to hurt me, because you don't really know the intention.
You have no idea the intention. Yeah.
So I think she handled it really well. I think I got a little annoyed with when Matt was there, how she was just like, oh yeah, no, I'll wait right here. Oh, are you done? Are you done? Like, I didn't like that, but I understand.
Love that. She was really like empowered by the other women. I love that she went back to the group of ladies and they were like, that is your date. That is your time, Katie. You get back in there and tell her to leave. And I'm like, God, that's a lot of pressure to put on one girl. But also they are correct.
Yeah. But all those other girls who then didn't get time, I'm like, why weren't you standing with her and going, hey, Matt, like, I'm worried that I'm not going to have time with you.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, all around, just not a good situation. Time is the commodity on this show. So it's like when these women get so upset, I am annoyed for them too. I'm annoyed for their behavior that they're upset, but also time is the only thing that matters right now. Like, it is so precious on this show. So I get it.
Yeah.
Literally, Anna has not even spoken to that.
I did not like her this episode. I didn't find her as endearing. I found her to be quite mean.
My second watch was very colored by the preview we get.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like, you know.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. That will be next week's rage.
So then we go into the solo date with
Serena P.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
She's very cute. Lots of times I was like, wow, she's so stunning. Like I had a lot of moments where I was like, whoa.
Well,
wow.
also like so stunning and also just like cute too, like very striking, very beautiful, but also just like, I want to put you in my pocket and carry you around. Like just so perfect sweet. Woman. Loves animals. Like
there were donkeys on the date. Come on.
I'm all about the donkeys.
Yeah, I stand the donkeys. I would watch a whole show of just the donkeys at Nemacolin.
Nemacolin, where's your live stream of the animals? I would watch that during my entire workday.
Yeah. So we learned that Matt had a pet turtle, which she gets.
No, Serena P is getting a lot of internet hate. I don't know if that's true, but she did release an official statement on Twitter that says, I support pet turtles.
Yeah, for the record.
Don't be mad.
She was just being very cute in the moment, making fun of him that was his pet as a child.
She's like, oh, that?
Of all the things? Not even a dog?
Really good. I feel like they have great chemistry and like really good banter.
Yeah, they feel very natural, very sweet. But we get some red flaggies.
Wave them high, baby.
From that. And you can see it in Serena's face when she sees it. She's like, oh God.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm on TV.
oh yeah, hi Matt.
Okay, great. Sure, I love that. Yeah, the night portion of the date, I would say was a little just like, cute girl. Not to Serena, girl to Matt. Like, ooh, and I know you looked into the Reddit and there's all sorts of back information, but basically what he says to her is like, she's like, what was your dating experience before you came on the show? I know you have 32 girlfriends right now, but what were you doing before that? Which I thought she's just cute. She's so cute.
That was a fun question.
Yeah. And
not a fun answer.
He gives me, in this answer and his explanations, he just gives me like such fuckboy vibes. It really took me out of the romance. He says, I dated a girl for 4 months. it came time to put a label on it, which like, good for you, girl, for lasting 4 months without a label. And he was like, but I didn't see her as my wife, or I only want to date people that I'm going to marry. So I broke it off. But it's like, okay, at what point do you decide that? I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't think Serena P liked it either.
No, I think she was like, oh, you broke up with a girl over a label.
Well, and also he was like, no, I don't know if I've been in love. So it's like, do we even know that he's confident in what he's looking for? He also told her this story about like, I checked all the boxes. I played all the sports. I went to this school. I did all this stuff. And then I got there and was like, this isn't my life. And so now I don't even have confidence that even if he says he knows what he wants, maybe what he wants in a woman is what Tyler C wanted in the first place. Like I am not feeling, I just miss Tayshia. I miss Tayshia. I want Tayshia on every season.
She was a lot more grounded and I felt safe.
She did know what she wanted.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
we felt secure with her because she was so secure in knowing what she wanted. So when she found it, we were like, okay, well, we trust Tayshia. I don't trust Matt. I just based off of like a lot that we've been seeing is he's just very reactive as a partner rather than proactive, which is kind of weird because all of his questions he's been giving the girls has been like, what can I do to make this experience good for you? Like, what I don't think he's taking any of that in, and I don't really. Did he ask that question to Sarah last week? I don't think he did. What would
no, he asked her very specifically. He was the one that was like, what can I do to make you think of me as a winning partner or something like that? Like his was really blatant to her.
Yeah. And I feel like she gave maybe, and we'll go into it more, but that's one of the ones where I'm like, maybe she didn't communicate exactly what she needed from him is a lot of reassurance.
On the minute-to-minute basis, like you and I would both need if we were contestants on this show.
I already know if I see you hold another girl's hand, I'm just going to be like, oh, he hates me. But yeah, I think this is a very important reminder to our listeners and viewers that your relationship is very separate from like someone else's relationship, and it should not color your relationship with that person. Like, well,
especially in the context of this weird little show. Like probably if a girl I was dating 32 other ladies, I wouldn't be thrilled.
I think you would have to make that decision for yourself. I
think I would say I'm going to self-eliminate.
Yeah, exactly. And
I feel like I'm the last one standing. This is disrespectful to my heart.
Yeah, I feel like I would be one of those same people who's like, I don't know if I can do that because I have a competitive streak where it may potentially come in that I don't actually like this person, but I feel the need to compete for them because I'm just competitive. And so at the end, I would be like,
do you want him to give you that rose?
Yeah, I feel like I would be the one that's like, I need to compete and show you all the reasons why you love me. And then I'm not in love with you. Oh shit. Like, what did I do?
Oops, I did it again as he's proposing to you at the finale.
Actually, I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh, you went down and got it for me? Oh, you shouldn't have. Bye.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so there's some red flaggies from our boy Matty that we're gonna have to keep our eyes on, see how this develops, because
how this goes. I would say this is a pretty common thing with The Bachelor versus The Bachelorette. Sorry, I got a rose toy for my dogs and I'm just going to use it to gesticulate.
Giving me a rose.
I'm giving you my rose. And now I've lost my train of thought.
Yeah, but this is a common thing that we see in the Bachelor and maybe not so much The Bachelorette. That
they know, the Bachelors know that they want a wife and they don't necessarily know what that looks like or know exactly what they want. But the women come in like, I need him. Here's my checklist. He needs to be able to give me 5 kids. I want to have a working partner. I want to, like, that's why, I mean, if you look at the stats alone, that's why there are so many more successful relationships from The Bachelorette rather than The Bachelor.
Well, and I think women, we don't have a second head that's trying to battle with our main brain.
I would say sometimes when my birth control has been out of whack, my second head has entered the chat and she's blown up a lot of shit for me. So can you imagine that happening to you as a man?
No, I have major PMDD, so they would. It kind of makes me come off as bipolar, where sometimes I'm very manic and loving and happy and just perfect, and then other times I'm just a full monster where I'm depressed. I would pull a lot of stuff that Sarah did, and I think that's why I was so triggered by it, because it is hard for me to see somebody do things that I've done myself and would do in this situation.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot better, I would say Sarah is a better person to be triggered by. I was just fully triggered by Victoria, which what does that say about me? I don't know.
Yeah, I have a lot to say on Sarah, but yeah, we'll go into that very shortly.
We're getting there real quick, actually, because we're all about the donkeys, and
it's a successful date for the most part. I don't know if Serena's loving his answers. Good for her for being aware, like hearing what he's saying and processing it.
But she left that date being like, oh my gosh, this does move really fast, and wow, I do maybe have more feelings than like.
Yeah, she's infatuated. I think a lot of these girls are feeling very infatuated by their solo dates and any time that they get with him. So then we go into the main drama.
We've been seeing whispers and fisters about it all week. You know, is Sarah going to come down and talk to the girls? No, she's back in her room. Oh, she's at the date. Oh, she doesn't like the date. All kinds of things. So now we get to closer to the end of the episode. We're about to go into group date 2 when everything kind of
explodes,
hits the fan.
Yeah. So the Sarah situation, I mean, I think we're just going to try to approach this with as much sensitivity as we can. I mean, she's obviously someone who is going through a lot of trauma with her dad.
Just with her family trauma alone.
And that she comes from maybe some more emotionally abusive relationships in the past. I mean, she's been cheated on, and I think there's a lot of triggers there. So to me, I think we're seeing a lot of what's called an emotional flashback, where you go back to she went back to the times of when she's been cheated on, and she's feeling all of those same heightened feelings. And so immediately she's just going through all of the anxiety. She's saying, I need to leave. I can't do this. I can't be around all these girls. And she's just hysterical because there's a lot of just deep emotions still living in her body.
Yeah. Well, and also like easily triggered by all these women talking, you know, speaking their erotic truth. Like that's going to be really hard.
Yeah. Like you have a really deep connection with somebody so quickly. It can already lead you on these huge roller coaster up and downs. And so when you're somebody who maybe has complex PTSD, or you have some codependency issues, which usually stems from some type of emotional trauma.
Yeah.
This all seems warranted. Like all of this seems to be what's going on with her. And so none of these girls knows what's going on with her. So I think
us as the audience know that she has a family problem and her dad has ALS. Matt knows that, but she hasn't told any of the women in the house.
She hasn't.
So all they see her is like, I'm special, I'm important, and I'm interrupting your date. So they're all pissed.
So she pulls attention at the rose ceremony after already having a rose where she's potentially going to throw up, pass out, all of these things. And he's there to comfort her. And then again, she takes time away from the group date. She interrupts Katie and comes in and just needs more reassurance, or she's telling him she's going to leave. And he's saying, no, please don't go. So she goes, okay, I'm not going to leave. She gets hit with a ton of backlash.
I'll also say how ballsy it is to interrupt, not even just a group date, but like his one-on-one time with Katie on the group date.
Yeah.
Like, girl, just give her time and swoop in as he's changing hands or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not hard. Maybe that's not easy to do with like production or something, or she was really stressed.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if the producers were egging her on. I mean, this seems like a situation where you need. I would
She needed
love
a ride to that
Mhm.
hotel. They were from her Matto to the date site.
They could have potentially escalated this situation, like production, where they're like, "Yeah, we'll take you to go see Matt." And I think each of the girls, I would love, instead of having their own producer, like maybe having their own producer coach, their own therapist, like, I mean, or just
It would be so helpful, especially like there's no test for this. Like when you
just pass
the Bachelor, like you
That's
just hope that you're gonna do well. It would be so nice to have a therapist and a coach and like put it on TV, you know, if you need them to chat about it, like maybe instead of just having a producer in the moment who's like twisting your trauma into really good television, you could have like a supportive therapist. I will say I don't think the show would be as entertaining. I think it would be very knowledgeable, but I don't think it would be as like, whoa, shocking, which is exactly why they don't do it.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, I at some point I'm like, I think we have like a responsibility to society. They have a responsibility to these girls. Like, I don't know. It's tough because they are young. I mean, they're in their like sometimes
early 20s. Yeah.
There's 24. I mean, they're adults, but it's like I was a wreck in my 20s.
I'm a wreck in my 30s.
I'm still trying to figure things out. So it's, I mean, we put a lot of pressure on these girls to be like a shining example with potentially like no help. And like,
yeah, literally, I mean, they have the support of their producer, but like they're also there to make good TV. What really happens is it falls on the other women to be supportive of one another, which is my favorite thing to watch. I love that. And I loved Katie going and talking to Sarah one-on-one. I thought that was really lovely. Katie is the gold star winner of this episode.
Yeah. I think she's shown herself to be very supportive of other women. She makes a comment to Sarah where she's like, I really don't think you should leave, because if you truly have a connection to Matt, I think you both deserve going down that road and figuring the connection out, because if you
and I deserve that, so I know that he chose me for me and not because you left.
I don't want to be second place. I don't want to be the consolation prize. I want him to choose me for me and not have the like lingering thought of Sarah in the background. So she's absolutely right. But I mean, as this episode turns out, Sarah decides to eliminate, which I think was the best move for her.
And honestly, when she said to Katie, like, my dad has like health problems and has a, she didn't say he has ALS, but said he has like a, what is it called?
Life-threatening.
Yeah, you can cut that out. I don't know words.
He has a life-threatening illness.
Yeah, like a chronic life-threatening illness. And she was like, I lost my dad. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. So like, I think, you should go. I will say Becca Martinez, she was on Ari season, the one with the cute pixie hair. She's one of my favorites to follow. And she posted yesterday, or I don't know, sometime this week, that she was like, just looking at the length of time on her goodbye, Sarah's goodbye to Matt, she was like, she will absolutely be back. Otherwise, the show would have drawn this out. They would have made it harder. They would have da-da-da-da-da. So she says, be prepared for a return.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that, because she did have a very strong connection to him. And
she's going to go home and her family's going to be like, yeah, your dad is still as sick as he was when you left.
Yeah, and I'm sure they all she was very forefront, like, my dad wants me to get married and have a partner and not put my life on hold for him. And so I think to her, this is like, I'm sure her family's like, what are you doing? You like the guy, he likes you, go back. Like,
yeah.
Not being a thing. Like, give it a chance.
Yeah. Well, and especially with like, as she's already ping pong back and forth with her trauma.
Yeah.
So many times in this one episode. I'm sure it's going to happen a million times before she even gets on the plane to go home. Like, who even knows if she'll go home?
Yeah. And like, I don't think Matt really handled this all that well. It's like he fell deep into this codependency cycle, which is very push and pull. It's positive and negative polarities. It creates this up and down roller coaster, which keeps you hooked. And so he fell right into the trap. And I don't think Sarah has manipulative intentions. I think this is just truly her trying to get any kind of support that she can.
Yeah.
In a very chaotic environment. So I understand her like grabbing onto him, but I think that what I would have done in his situation when she first said, I think I'm going to go home, I would say, you know, why don't you take the night to think about it? I don't want to make you do anything that you don't want to do. I can only, you know, this is just happens to be what this format is, and I'm here for you. I just have to try to be fair to everybody. And I'm really sorry that you're having a tough time. Like, I'm here, you know, can we pick this up a little later tonight after this date? I want to give these girls their chance. And then
Yeah. I mean, it was just, come see me at my hotel when we're done. We can chit chat. I can fill you in on all. I don't know. It just, I feel for Sarah. I had such a hard time watching this episode because I felt for everybody. I could see everybody's intention. The women really pissed at her. I understood. I got it.
Yeah.
But it's just like
such a tough situation.
It's so tough. And I need Matt to like
take charge.
Grab this season and take charge, you know?
Yeah,
be a about it.
He's so reactive and he's people pleasing everybody. I mean, he's just trying so hard. He's trying to please production. He's trying to please Sarah. He's trying to please the girls. He's trying to please the audience. I mean, calm that fawn response down, boy. Like, you already told us, like, you're a fawner because you woke up in a life that wasn't yours. So this is just fawning everywhere. And it's codependency. Doesn't give me the sense, like,
it doesn't give me comfort, okay?
Yeah. And so the girls, I think, having the information that they had, I think they just were really speaking heavily on their feelings. Were they harsh? Absolutely. I think
Kayla says it best. If we want to go very, very back to the beginning, she goes, was I annoyed that this happened before he called my name at the rose ceremony? Yeah. Do I feel sucky saying that? Yeah.
And I think that once Katie knows the situation, I love that she doesn't out Sarah's issues because it's not her secret to tell. You are a queen, Katie. And
Katie, we love you.
We love you. And I love that she says, I just want to tell you girls, like, I can't emphasize enough that I think we should all stay classy in this process. We don't know what each other are going through. So let's just try to keep it classy. Like,
like, what a great reminder. She is our coach and therapist of the season. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Katie.
I feel bad for MJ. MJ was having she was having a tough time with the Sarah situation.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel for the girls. Yeah, like I can sympathize with them that they're like, why does this girl keep pulling all of the tension constantly? And I will say, like, Victoria pops in and acts like she's Miss Mean Girl when she's got her backup squad, when everybody's all mad at Sarah. Now she feels like she can pop off to this girl. Like,
first she's like, I don't want to make you cry, sweetie. Everything is good. Kisses.
It's all love from me. I love you. And then
she's like, I don't know your heart.
Yeah, because Sarah's like, oh, you all know my heart. I hope that, like, you can understand that this is not coming from a malicious place, that I'm just struggling. And Victoria's like, I don't know your heart. None of us.
Who's she talking to?
Yeah, who are you talking to? None of us know who you are. Like,
she's a chaos queen. Victoria she sees a chaos moment and she takes it and she runs with it. She did have a very funny moment where she was such a gaslighter. When she was like, no, Sarah doesn't need time with Matt. She needs his Xanax.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, do they have that for the girls? I feel like they should just be handing that shit out like it's Tic Tacs.
But like, devil's advocate, remember Victoria said she's an empath? How are you not feeling Sarah's pain right now? Why are you going in deeper on her? She's obviously having a really tough time. Wouldn't you take the Katie approach and try to make this more enjoyable?
Oh, because you're an empath. I don't think
she goes, she's really killing the vibe, you guys. Like, that was always her response with all the girls. Yeah, Sarah's just really killing the vibe.
Killing the vibe.
Like, what vibe?
So funny. I was not as upset with Victoria this episode. We did see less of her, but I will also say, like, hats off to production for making me feel such a way. I was so plucked last week.
I know, but the editing is just such a roller coaster. Like, I don't know who I'm supposed to root for. Last week, you had me championing Sarah and hating Victoria. This week, you're trying to make us hate Sarah and kind of understand Victoria. Like, editing, get your life together. We don't know who are.
They're like, we are nuanced and we love a misdirect. That misdirect from last week, I thought this whole like episode of all the ladies jumping on Sarah being mad was directed at Victoria.
Yeah. Nope. We were crazy. Plucked.
They got us again, Gail. They got us, ladies.
Yeah, I mean, editing is all over the place. And it's been weird editing. Like, they're like spoiling the episode.
Yeah, I don't understand this, like, beginning with a clip and then rewinding back, because it's like all they told us was like who gets the one-on-one.
Yeah,
it was hella cute, and I love to see the donkeys too, but I don't understand what's happening with that. But then, so yeah, we basically end kind of with the culmination of Sarah leaving, and I think the other women are getting ready for their group date. Mm-hmm. So we'll come back to that group date, although next week's little preview looks a little whack. We get 5 more ladies.
Yeah, they saved the best for last. Like, ooh.
And like, we haven't seen Heather in a long time. I would imagine this would be the perfect time for Heather to show her face.
We're just going to keep the trauma train rolling. I mean, thank God Sarah left and didn't have to see 5 more ladies come in.
Oh, she's going to flip out. I would have loved to hear what Sarah thought about a sex worker dating her man if she couldn't even handle the erotica.
I know. I mean, Anna outing a sex worker and the way I don't know. I just was.
She does it to be Victoria, so we're already like, okay, so you're telling the most chaotic person in the house this news.
Who's
I've been mad about this since the show started.
I know. I'm like,
so we'll have a lot to say.
Yeah, finally we're going to see it, and
we can dissect, disseminate, and discuss.
Yeah, but we now know it's Anna who is the perpetrator of.
And Anna has like that. No, I'm not going to be nasty. Never mind. I'm going to talk about fashion instead.
Yeah, let's go into. Yeah,
we got a whole wide range. So we got a rose ceremony, even though it was last week's rose ceremony, and a couple group dates. Piper's emerald green gown that she had. Oh, hi, Spade. Dog popped up again. So
hi,
cute.
Baby.
Like your baby.
Look at that beautiful face.
Piper had this like beaded, like V-neck, emerald green, gorgeous gown on at the rose ceremony that like I only saw once. And you liked Mari's little rainbow gown that we barely saw either, but like beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
We got more.
Pretty.
Oh, I didn't love this look, but Katie's nighttime look for her group date was a dress she found at Goodwill for $6. We love a frugal queen.
Yeah, we love
positive, communicative, frugal queen.
Yeah, and she's recycling clothes, which, those are one of the biggest perpetrators of landfills is.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Ending up in dumpsters.
So great. What else? Oh, MJ is just continuing her khaki fantasy. We're getting her in all shades of khaki every episode. I'm loving it. Loving her
Neutral
hair,
queen.
Her eyebrows, doing great. And then anything that Brie wears is fantastic. She's also, I know I've called out Serena C as our San Francisco queen, but we also have Bree, our San Francisco queen. And she's pulling looks left and right. She was wearing this like cool muscle tee on the first part of the group date, and then like a fitted white like work shirt that was also kind of a dress. Like everything she has worn, I have loved.
Yeah, I liked her at the I think it was after the group date when they were kind of discussing the Sarah situation. She was in this like cute fuzzy white sweater, and then she had this really awesome camel colored like leather skirt. It was very like Indiana Jane kind of.
Ooh, Bree, love that for you.
I think it was on my second watch that I was like, oh,
I missed that entirely. She was just lounging around the house in her leather skirt.
Yeah, and I don't even think she was talking, but she was just sitting with the girls, and I went, "Who's wearing that?" And I went, "Oh, of course,
Bree. Of course, it's Bree. Yeah, she's
an icon."
And then we have Ashley I, who's always doing like a subtle Princess Jasmine nod. So we got her in Princess Jasmine colored pants with a fat ass. She's got such a good butt. I have never noticed this before. Ashley I, Jared has made your ass so fat. We love it. We love to see it.
Yeah, I was like, damn, it was like a cool bell bottom, like high-waisted moment.
Yeah, it was like a palazzo pant or something. And then she had matching little like triangle earrings and then black. So she was doing the Princess Jasmine colors. Loved to see it.
Yeah, she's stunning.
Also, as we do on this pod, we only record during very historical, political moments. So I just want to take a moment, even though you guys are getting this on Friday. Happy Inauguration Day! We made it to Gaga, Kamala. I'm just so happy.
I can't believe we made it.
Honestly, like today was so crazy. I didn't even watch the inauguration. I was just like, is this real? Please tell me.
I loved it. Yeah, I mean, in dark news in Bachelor, we found out Rachel, who's one of the girls on that season.
Speaking of MAGA, she got the group date rose, but Hanny, she's a problem, Hanny.
Yeah, she's pretty problematic.
First of all, she's not from Cumming, California, which I read her Chiron wrong. I thought she was an Orange County girl. She's Cumming, Georgia.
Yeah, Cumming, Georgia. And it is a heavily KKK area that's still active, and there are not Black people in Forsyth County. They just, because it's a historically racially charged area, that they
might not have gone blue in the vote this year.
You don't think so? There are lots of friends of Rachel wearing MAGA hats that she has liked the photo of. As early, like as soon as last year, June 2020, were some of the timestamps on some of these photos. There was like lots
June 2020, the summer of Black Lives Matter protests, she was liking her friends in MAGA hats.
Yeah, that's and cool. Reposting cultural appropriation pictures of her dressed as a Native American in high school for Halloween with her friends. I was gonna.
Such a bummer. Oh, also I have to say, as Sammie and I were texting about Rachel last night, so I was doing my deep dive on her Instagram, and I talked shit about her blue eye contacts last week. Corrections on my ass. They said, no, you need to issue a statement. I think she has blue eyes, you guys.
They're just blue eyes that look fake.
Blue eyes, and they were lit differently at the beginning of the Capture the Heart date as they were at the end. So apologies, you racist fuck.
Yeah. You just saw into her soul and knew that she was she was a fraud, a fake, inauthentic,
MAGA hat liking girl.
Yeah, this is
saying no more conservative producers on the show, no more conservative people in the world.
Yeah, you can be fiscally conservative, but do not be socially. No, I mean, just don't be socially conservative. Like,
yeah, but the social programs come from money. So if you're a libertarian, you're saying,
I know they
don't actually care about social programs, because if money is conservative,
they don't want any government at all. They don't want any form of government. They want everybody to just live off the fat of the land on them.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
That's what they say to the
Don't
government.
tread on me.
No. Well, on that note, everybody.
Yeah, just love each other. Be super nice.
If you need any insight, we have a new program. The Love Department is Sammie's coaching Instagram, and she's really good. And we would love to answer your questions live on air. I don't think I have anything to add, but I would love to hear about your relationship struggles, your thoughts on the show, and I'd love to hear how Sammie wants to help you with those so I can also fix my life through you. So DM us all of your love advice to the Love Department. Also, rate, review, share the pod, pimp our pod.
Comment, let us know.
Spotify, we're on Acorn. Is that no? Anchor.
Acorn, that's the savings app.
Oh, I hate that app. It takes my money.
We're on Anchor, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube for the visuals. Yeah, we're on like a couple platforms. Yeah, like comment, let us know like what you guys like, what you don't like, give us feedback.
What we did for y'all this week was not talk for 2 hours straight. I'm sure Sammie will be very pleased when you have to edit this pod before it goes live. Because the first 2 weeks, we were just getting into the nitty gritty of every part of the episode. So we're trying to make our pod shorter than the actual episode of The Bachelor we are covering. But it's hard because we like each other and we like to chat.
But we're going to give you guys bonus content instead where we can really dive into some stuff.
I want to know every group challenge we're going to like redo, like how would you perform in this group challenge?
We'll act them out.
We're basically just going to be reading and writing and reading our erotica.
That's the first challenge. Maybe we'll go back to Tasha's season with the 5
love languages. I love that. Make it personal to us.
Yeah.
It will just be me sobbing. And how would you be on The Bachelor?
I need to go home.
Leave. I would just be like roaming the fields with the goats at Nemical and Nemical Escola. I gotta tag him again. He watched that little thing I put on.
A little clippy. We have a fan. Friend of the pod.
Okay, ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in to another week of Almost Paradise. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you.
And we can't wait to read your DMs. Names too. We want to know who's breaking your heart.
Yeah. Please be kind to everybody you come across. You don't know their story. Let this episode be a reminder of that. And drink lots of water.
Listen to Katie, and we're going to stay classy about that.
Stay classy. See you guys.
Bye.